Welcome to Wrestler of the Week, week number 5. It pretty much works like this. If you are a professional wrestler and you made the most impact over the past 7 days, I will name you, in my opinion, the Wrestler of the Week. Every week, there will be points tabulated for male and female wrestlers, and at the end of the calendar year, whoever obtains the most points will be named the male and female wrestler of the year. And if you want to see what I view as criteria for Wrestler of the Week, be sure to check out my week 1 episode. A major week is in the books. TNA Sacrifice was a great show. We got a major debut this week, and we are continuing to truck along with the hottest angle in all of wrestling as we barrel toward WrestleMania. So let's just get into it. First, the women and some honorable mentions. Toni Storm and Deonna Purrazzo are continuing their feud over the AEW Women's title, and now that Mariah May is becoming more and more involved, I can easily see Toni and Mariah eventually having a falling out. But for now, this angle is still boiling. Over on Monday Night Raw, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, and Nia Jax tried to basically tear each other apart on the road to WrestleMania, but there is one other player in this whole scenario that I feel made a greater impact this week. Bayley had a great promo on Friday Night SmackDown when she said she would do everything in her power to take down Damage Control, the group that she created, and now she is in line for a match with Dakota Kai next week. This is the biggest female story on the SmackDown side going into WrestleMania, and I am happy that everyone here is now getting some more shine. Tiffany Stratton continued her winning ways and obvious push with another victory over Michin, who is having her own existential crisis over the breakup of the OC. But Tiffy time is undefeated so far on the main roster. Let's see how far they take that. And now, the top 10 wrestlers of the week for the women. Kicking off the countdown is Ash by Elegance from TNA, who had an impact on, Impact. With a squash match, then it appeared as she made her intentions known on TNA Sacrifice, observing and scouting the triple threat match between Jordynne Grace, Xia Brookside, and Tasha Steelz. Ash by Elegance has breathed new life into the career of the former Dana Brooke, who may have found something for her within the Knockouts division. As I always say, follow-up is key, but Ash looks like she is being built to challenge for the Knockouts title. At number 9, we have Roxanne Perez from NXT, who had a major influence on this past show, as she interfered in the women's tag team title match between the Kabuki Warriors and Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley. Roxanne made sure that Lyra did not become a double champion, while at the same time making her intentions known as a heel that she is gunning for Lyra's women's title. Do we have something set for Stand and Deliver? I am digging Roxy's new heel persona, and I hope it takes her far. At number 8 is Riho from AEW, who on this past AEW Dynamite defeated Chris Statlander in a hard-fought victory, and it looks like she is in line for a new push towards challenging for a title. Which one though? I suppose we will find out soon. But it's good to have Riho back on AEW television. I just ask for some more consistency on the women's side on AEW. Coming in at number 7 is the tag team of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, who after defeating Kayden Carter and Katana Chance to officially become the number 1 contenders for the Kabuki Warriors tag team titles. It's great to see these two killing people again, and I believe a match between Shayna, Zoe, and the Kabuki Warriors could be a sleeper. At number 6 is Red Velvet from Ring of Honor, who defeated Layla Hirsch in the quarterfinals to advance in the Ring of Honor's Women's TV Championship Tournament. At number 5 is Liv Morgan from WWE, who I believe made the most impact in this program that has her, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, and Nia Jax all at each other's throats. Liv, in retaliation from last week, interfered in the Becky Lynch-Nia Jax match on Raw, truly inserting herself in this major angle heading towards WrestleMania. I love Liv's new mean streak, and it's clear she is being pushed more and more towards the dark side, and the moment she snaps and fully turns will be a glorious day indeed. Coming in at number 4 is the tag team of Spitfire, Dani Luna and Jody Threat, who at TNA Sacrifice picked up a major upset squash victory over MK Ultra to win the Knockouts tag titles. Watching the match, I'm not sure if there's a legit injury, and that is why the match ended so abruptly. I do hope there isn't anything serious happening, but MK Ultra didn't even have 3 weeks with the titles before Spitfire took them away. But Dani Luna and Jody Threat are number 4 on the list for Wrestler of the Week. At number 3 is all of Damage Control, who were all over WWE TV. First, they appeared on Raw to scout the tag match between Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark against Kayden Carter and Katana Chance. Then on NXT, the Kabuki Warriors retained their women's tag titles by defeating NXT Women's Champ Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley, and on SmackDown, they pretty much kept things rolling with a great promo from Dakota Kai, now setting up Dakota to face Bayley at next week's SmackDown. WWE is now starting to go all in on Bayley versus Damage Control, and I say it's about damn time. At number 2 is Julia Hart from AEW, who successfully defended and retained her TBS championship by defeating Robin Renegade. Now that Julia Hart is healthy again, I am ready to see what challengers step up to her to challenge for her title. Rio? Willow Nightingale? We will see. But for now, Julia Hart is number 2 for Female Wrestler of the Week. We started the countdown with a TNA knockout, and we end at number 1 with the TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace as the Female Wrestler of the Week, who successfully defended and retained her Knockouts title against Xia Brookside and Tasha Steelz. Ash by Elegance was scouting the whole match, but Grace pretty much dominated Brookside and Steelz before taking the victory. And as I've said before, Grace is adopting a bit of an unbeatable aura around her, which I am all fine with. There is nothing wrong with a dominant female champion. We got mommy in WWE. But Jordynne Grace, by virtue of defending her World Knockouts title, is your Female Wrestler of the Week. And now the men and some honorable mentions. The Judgment Day had a busy week, defeating Imperium while Dom lost to Gunther on Raw. And even bigger, Dominic Mysterio got married and was booed out of the building for his troubles. Goddamn, I love me some Dominic Mysterio. Congratulations on your wedding. Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay had busy weeks, but it all culminated with Danielson challenging Ospreay to a match at AEW Dynasty. This is going to be a match that will melt faces, so just the announcement of the match alone between two of the best in the world has me salivating. Andrade returned to WWE TV with a quick win on Monday Night Raw, and it is great to have what looks like a motivated Andrade out there. When Andrade is ready, he can go with the best in the world, CM Punk. So hopefully we are getting NXT Andrade and not AEW Andrade. Sami Zayn picked up a big win on his way to the #1 Contenders Gauntlet match to determine Gunther's challenger at WrestleMania. He was attacked by Bronson Reed at the end of the match, so honestly, it's great to see the mid-card being built up like this. The Young Bucks cut a great post-Revolution promo on Dynamite before introducing a major name, which instantly became one of the hottest angles in AEW. And speaking of cutting great post-Revolution promos, Darby Allin cut an impassionate promo about his future after Sting's retirement. Darby has shown great fire lately and in my eyes has grown to become one of AEW's better promos. Again, follow-up is key, but this guy is someone I believe, just like Swerve Strickland, is on the cusp of a real significant AEW World Title run in the future. And now, the top 10 wrestlers of the week for the men. Starting out the countdown is AEW World Champ Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland, who followed up on their clash at Revolution with a great promo battle, then a tag team win over the Ring of Honor tag team champs on this past week's Dynamite. Joe will be battling Wardlow at Big Business this week, while Swerve continues his momentum towards obtaining the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Coming in at number 9 is Nick Nemeth and Alex Hammerstone, who both picked up major victories in great matches at TNA Sacrifice, with Nemeth, the current IWGP Global Champion, picking up a hard-fought victory against Steve Maclin. Then Hammerstone defeated Josh Alexander in a war. Hammerstone just seems like a perfect fit for TNA, and it really feels like Nemeth is wrestling like he's 10 years younger, so I am happy for both of these gentlemen. Number 8 is another tie for NXT stars Trick Williams and Tony D'Angelo. Trick made a major impact on NXT this past week as he returned to exact revenge on Carmelo Hayes, making him lose the number 1 contenders match to Tony D'Angelo. We now have a grudge match potentially set up between Trick and Mello at Stand and Deliver, while at the same time, Tony D'Angelo gets his first crack at the NXT title. I am all in on this major main event angle in NXT, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Staying in NXT, number 7 brings us the NXT World Tag Team Champs, the Wolf Dogs Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, who successfully defended their tag titles on NXT this past week against Chase U. I am really digging the Wolf Dogs, and honestly, I sort of hope Corbin gets the call back up to the main roster so these two can continue to just wreck people in the tag division. Coming in at number 6 is Jordan Breaks from Revolution Pro, who at Rev Pro Live in London captured the Revolution Pro Undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship from Leon Slater in one hell of a match, with slaps and uppercuts galore, but in the end, it was a surprise roll-up from Jordan Breaks to win the title. This is Breaks' first run with the title, and let's see what he does with it in the British promotion. At number 5 are basically all the participants of the biggest angle in all of wrestling, the Bloodline against what feels like the world now. On Monday Night Raw, Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes cut an amazing promo over The Rock's WrestleMania Night 1 challenge. Then later in the evening during the main event bout between Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre, both Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso made their presence known before Cody and Seth would return to aid. Then on Friday Night SmackDown, we got the big face-to-face between The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody, and Seth, where Cody and Seth officially accepted the challenge, and now we have what seems to be our main events for WrestleMania on Night 1 and Night 2. This angle just keeps trucking along, adding more layers, and with everyone, especially The Rock and Cody Rhodes, playing their heel and faces characters perfectly. Hurry up, Philadelphia! At number 4 is Mustafa Ali, who had a busy week on TNA television, defeating Kevin Knight on Impact, and then at TNA Sacrifice, Ali and the Grizzled Young Vets won a major six-man tag against Time Machine. Ali, as the X Division champ, is making a mark already at TNA, and he feels like a major acquisition and star. Keep it coming. At number 3 is Drew McIntyre, who continues to be the promotion's #1 true heel in my eyes. The Rock still gets major cheers and chants despite his heelish actions. Drew had more devastation on the mic, then won a hard-fought match against Jey Uso in the main event of Raw. He would then take out Seth freaking Rollins with a Claymore to stand tall at the end of the show. Each week, it seems more and more like an inevitability that Drew McIntyre will be walking away with the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. We will see, but Drew McIntyre had a major week. At number 2 is The System from TNA, who had a great week. They were all over TNA television. Then at Sacrifice, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers would defeat ABC to become the new TNA Tag Team Champs, and later in the evening, Moose would retain his TNA World title against Eric Young. The System now has a good chunk of gold around their waists and have established themselves as the dominant faction in TNA. Now to find out who may end up taking them down. But The System comes in at number 2. And the Wrestler of the Week for week number 5 is Kazuchika Okada, who made a major debut on AEW Dynamite, appearing to help Eddie Kingston from a beatdown by the Young Bucks, but we got a major heel turn instead from Okada as he gave Kingston a Rainmaker and posed with the Bucks to form a new elite faction. Okada may be AEW's biggest signing ever. The famed Japanese grappler is one of the best ever to do it, so I am ready for all of the potential insane matches Okada will have with AEW's stacked roster. Again, follow-up is key, but Okada was presented as a big deal. Tony Khan is treating him like a big deal, and it looks like he is already going for gold, motioning for Eddie Kingston's Continental title. Is Okada going to go full belt collector mode? We will see. But for now, for week number 5, Kazuchika Okada is the Wrestler of the Week. And here are the standings for the men's and women's Wrestler of the Week. So yeah, this was a busy week with so much going on in WWE, AEW, Rev Pro, TNA, just all over the place. Men and women's wrestling just dominating the week. This was just a great, fantastic week for wrestling. What did you think of my rankings for Wrestler of the Week? Share your thoughts, leave your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can get notifications as well. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.